Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we have another really awesome piece from Katsu. Now, we will talk about this piece here in just a moment. First, we'll take a quick look at the knife without that. Now, there is more affordable options for this same knife that won't have this piece and has a little bit different materials like the blade steel, and I'm not sure if it's a titanium frame like the budget option or if it's all aluminum. I'm not sure, but it does have a steel lock bar insert and it looks very similar. It has the carbon fiber. I'm going to link everything I can down in the description, but for this specific model, this is the premium one with ZDP 189 heat treated up to 67 HRC, and you can see it's got a jacketed or a San Mai blade. So basically all the steel at the edge that you will be sharpening is ZDP 189 at around 67 HRC, which is insane. I've sharpened a lot of it. ZDP 189 is a phenomenal steel when it's heat treated that high. Its edge retention just increases tenfold. And we'll talk a little bit more about the ZDP 189 here in 1 second. You can see how it's got a hand satin blade. Then we have the carbon fiber. Oh yeah, this one is not just titanium. This one's zirconium. I should have said that. Titanium, zirconium clip, and I believe the show side here might be zirconium. And then carbon fiber over the top of the zirconium. So what is zirconium? So first of all, zirconium is a very expensive material. It's kind of similar to titanium. It's really strong, lightweight, but also malleable. I'll let Wikipedia actually explain it to you a little bit better.
According to Lentech, zirconium is a very strong, malleable, ductile, lustrous silver gray metal. Its chemical and physical properties are similar to those of titanium. Zirconium is extremely resistant to heat and corrosion.
It's also a very expensive material to put on a knife. A lot of custom knife makers use zirconium. So it's pretty interesting that it was chosen to be put on this, which is pretty awesome. A lot of times it's hard to get any kind of zirconium on a knife unless if it is a full-blown custom. So very, very cool. You can see it has a titanium backspacer, and we'll go more into that here in just 1 second. But good access to the lock bar. Very smooth on the drop. The action from this front flipper is insanely good. It's so easy to use. Yes, you have to make sure you clear a path for it because you can, hit yourself like that. So you want to make sure you clear a path, but once you do it a couple times, it's just second nature. But to grab the flipper tab, you have that little platform of jimping that makes it so easy, such a huge leverage point to pull, as I'm messing it up, to pull it back. It's so easy. Very, very fidgety. Then you can, even with just the regular top flip, you can put your finger right up there at the jimping and basically just crank downward. It's so snappy. So snappy. You can do the little reach over. Yeah, it's even slow rolling it because of how high it stands. You can slow roll it all the way around and safely lock it into place, as you can see. So awesome, awesome action. It is very smooth on the drop. Not fall shut, but a couple little shakes and it drops, and this is brand new. So another thing, you can easily reverse flick this. I mean, it is super duper easy. The detent is very well tuned for the front flipper or for a reverse flick. Now, a thumb flick, not so much, but the reverse flick works great. But the access to the lock bar is really good. Great access. Very smooth on the drop. It's rock solid lockup. 100% centered. Very, very nice. Very well done. Now, you have the zirconium clip here, as you can see. Steel lock bar insert on the titanium frame lock. And the ergos, it's okay. I do feel the clip quite a bit because of the position of the clip. because they have the clip on the spine. I prefer a clip being in the middle. However, even though that is the case and it does bother you in the hand a little bit, squeezing it, this is the grip I would most likely be in. This is a primary grip, I think, for this knife. If I'm going to be using this knife, I honestly believe that this would be my primary grip, a pinch grip. Cutting from the side, utility cuts, you know, I probably wouldn't be using it like this in a hammer grip as often as this. And if you did need to, it's fine. You'd be able to use it just fine like that. Now, let's look at this little feature right here. So what this is, let me close this up. What we do is you can quickly do this. I won't fast forward or anything. I will do this all on camera because it is super duper fast. You just unscrew this, pull that out, pull the clip out, slide that sucker right out. Then you slide this piece in, making sure these pins go into the slot as well. Lock it in place. Put your clip back. And then screw it back tight. And that's it. And now you have this in a KARAMBIT style format or form, whatever. So now you can use it with the ring, either in your pinky, or, you know, if you wanted to do the tricks, if you want to use your pointer finger. It does have a glass breaker on the front of it, as you can see. So you can, you know, break some glass. And it's got lots of jimping all the way around it for lots of traction. You can do all the little tricks and stuff. I can't do under the camera, but I'll probably be throwing in a little clip of spinning it and things like that. But you don't have to, even if you have it on, you can comfortably grip it without putting your finger in the ring. And then if you wanted to, you always could. Now, it doesn't have a wave feature or anything like that. But, you know, with the front flipper, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to imagine pulling it out of the pocket. I wonder if you could pull it out of your pocket and spike it against your pocket. Maybe I'll try to do that in the clip, and if it doesn't work, I don't know. You know, I'm either doing it well right now or I'm not showing you a clip of doing that. But yeah, I think the knife is pretty cool. Now, this is not a cheap knife. This is pretty expensive because of the materials and because of, you know, what you're getting here. But like I said, though, they do have more budget-friendly options that you can choose from, that you're not going to get all this. You're not going to get the zirconium. You're not going to get the ring. But you're still going to get, you know, basically the same knife, just with different materials. But in this case, this one with the ZDP 189, let's talk about that. ZDP 189 heat treated to around 67 HRC. That's incredible. So that's the same steel that Rockstead uses. And if you guys don't know Rockstead is a Japanese knife company that makes some of the most high-end, if not the best heat treated knives you can possibly get. Now, NEMOTO is a designer in Japan, so he's a Japanese knife designer. So, you know, speaking about Rockstead being a Japanese knife company, NEMOTO, the designer of this, is also a Japanese knife designer. But ZDP 189, basically, without it being heat treated to a really high HRC, it's a simple steel. Once you heat treat it to this high of an HRC, the steel is so hard, its edge retention just massively goes up. And I've sharpened these many times. They do really good with a polished edge. So if I was going to sharpen this, I would probably put, I don't know if I'd put a super low angle on it, but depending on the geometry of the knife with ZDP 189, you can lower back the angle. Usually I do put not a super, but a pretty low angle on it. And I polish it, and it usually comes out really, really good. So, I'm sure this would be very similar to that. But yeah, it is a little something special. I think it's pretty cool. It comes in a really nice, hard case that I also really appreciate. The thing is, though, is that when you have the ring on it, it can't fit in the case. So, we're going to have to take the ring back off and put the back spacer back on. I'll do that when I'm done with the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.